What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to, I almost said another episode, but this is just a live stream that we have a special guest on our show. I don't need to introduce him. You are probably following him on every social media platform by now. It is the always wonderful to have on, always handsome Austin from Calling Your Shots. How you doing, brother?
Hey man, I'm happy to be here. It's been a wild ride, but hopefully we can give out some winners to the people, make some money, and have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm trying to perfect my YouTube voice that you just have. It's maybe your natural voice, but you nailed it so well. You just For those of you guys who don't know Austin, he's been absolutely. I'm not meaning to give the 10K challenge. That obviously helped boost, but you've been grinding out daily videos for a year and a half now. Maybe is that how long it's been?
Yeah, funny enough, we just passed 100,000 subscribers today, so that was crazy to see. And I went back to just to recap, and so it had actually been 800 days till our first video, so that's awesome. And then
Wow.
I think we've done over 1,200, I think almost 1,200 videos. So yeah, it's been a lot of time behind the camera and getting used to talking to the camera and figuring that out. So I think if
Become your
you get
best friend.
around it, Matt, you're a natural.
Oh, okay. I'll take any words of kindness from you. And one thing I appreciate about you is that you're always down to help people. When I started my personal YouTube channel, like a week or two ago, I gave you a call. I didn't even think you were going to help me as much as you did, and you let me ask you as much ridiculous questions as I could off the top of my head. So if you aren't following Austin, I put his stuff that I copied from his YouTube in the description below. But odds are you probably are. But just in case you're not, it's in the description below. Let's talk about that 10K challenge that you kind of got a lot of love from. And let me preface it by saying this. You didn't start the challenge, but I think what you did was you took it to a new level of a community-based aspect of it by providing yourself and your raw emotions going through it. And I think that's what really drew a lot of people in and honestly made me want to try it again. I tried it last year. It didn't really work out, but I think you brought the community together, and I think everybody saw that, and they kind of want to do it. So we're kind of copying you in a little bit, but walk us through how that went and your overall emotion and strategy through that.
Yeah, so by no means did I create it. I know people have been doing it, recently, and even people have completed it this month. So I just was honestly, I always wanted to try to find different ways to grow our YouTube channel. And so earlier this month, I know I'd always want to experiment with YouTube Shorts, and I was like, I wanted to think of something. I didn't want to do the same content I always do in the videos. So I was like, yeah, we'll do something like this. I just was to do it for fun. And lo and behold, the first or the third day we did it, the video on TikTok went absolutely nuts. It got over like 1.5 million views, and I was like,
Wow.
dang, this is nuts. And so luckily enough, in that same stretch, we were able to get all the way to day 9. And unfortunately, we lost then, but I had a ton of fun doing it. We had tons of crazy sweats where we needed like a point in the last 2 minutes. It was nuts how lucky we did get to get even that far. I made it look very easy, but it's by no stretch of imagination easy. It is hard to even get past just day 1. I mean, it's super
Yeah.
tough, but the fact that we were able to do that and just kind of galvanize the whole community is awesome. Like I obviously didn't create it, but it's been cool to see. And now that there's so many different people, I go onto my TikTok, I get 10 other videos, I get tagged in so many different things. And it's unreal. It's cool that it brought together the whole community, brought a ton of new, I think, people into the community. And I think that's the only way to grow is from other people, innovating new ideas or kind of pushing the boundaries. And I was happy to, bring in who knows however many people to the industry, and hopefully they stick around and we can all kind of make some money together.
Yeah, it's kind of there's very few things that like I feel like take over the whole gambling Twitter sphere, if you want to call it. I feel like Bookie with Trent kind of he did his own thing with the video content and reacting to stuff, and that was like the first wave. And this was like a different beast. Like I didn't even see it. I follow you and I interact with you, and I didn't even see you until day 4, based off of whatever Elon's doing with Twitter. And then I was just rooting for you, and I was like, man, like every time I looked, there was like another 100,000 likes, and I was like, what is going on here? I was like, I was nervous for you, so I couldn't even imagine the pressure you were on. I think I bet a little bit like on the side. I didn't catch you from the beginning, but I started rooting for you. I think it was day 8 or day 7. You needed like Jaren Jackson to get 10 points, and I just kept refreshing, and I didn't look, and I was like, oh my goodness, my heart was racing. I was like, I can't imagine what you're going on. So to walk us through the highs and lows of that, like was it stressful? Like was any other day stressful, or was it kind of just like all around
I
nuts?
mean, I was going through, I have all the save tickets like favorited in my phone because I was just reminiscing going through all of them. And We had a lot of sweaty ones. Like Jaren Jackson Jr. was one of the sweatiest ones. He needed like a point. I think he missed a free throw early
I
in the
saw
fourth,
that.
and he had to make just a shot. And they didn't pass to him the whole game, and they bailed us out with a three with like 3 minutes left. Another one that I remember sweaty was James Harden. He needed 15, and he had 14 points until like a minute left, and he hit a floater. Um, there were a lot of sweaty ones. There was only one day where basically at cash at halftime, you didn't have to worry about a single thing. That was like Saturday, day 8. Then we lost on day 9, but it was pretty sweaty the whole dang time. Yesterday wasn't too bad when we restarted it, but yeah, you're right. I mean, I had to apologize to my fiance several times. It was like, because I kept picking the latest game on the slate too, not intentionally, but I'd be like, honey, I got to stay up and sweat this out with the boys. So
Yeah.
it's like, we're at like 11:30 and we're just getting to halftime. We need a ton of different things. I was like, but it was fun. It was fun. And then after they hit, then I have to do the adrenaline to record a video, edit it, get it live so that it does well. It was a lot. Hopefully we can make the list this time a little bit easier, but it's probably not going to be that
Yeah,
easy.
props to you for putting the video up on the day 9, 'cause I couldn't even imagine your heart just kind of racing. I will say though, you didn't lose it on NBA. I will say you did not lose it on NBA, so that could be the key going forward, playoff football stuff. But NBA is hard enough as it is because injuries can just kill you, and I know that's why you kind of strayed away from that. Is there a different strategy for take 2, or are you just gonna kind of see if it works out this time?
I think I'll probably stick to the NBA this time around. The NFL is not bad, but when we get to Sunday, when there's the 2 games, I don't really want to mess a lot with them. So I'll probably, I mean, and I would feel bad if I got all the way to Sunday and I somehow was able to get whatever that would be like day 5 or 6, and
Yeah,
I made it all the way there, and then I switched and we lost then. So I'd probably just keep rolling with the NBA. Like last time when we did it, I think the NFL was 3 of the days. Like it was
yeah.
like day 1, 3, and like 7 or 8. So it still was pretty good. But yeah, I'll probably stick to NBA. But when you get to weekend NBA, it's even harder because the guys are just like, screw it. I ain't showing up. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, we need to take it day by day.
All right. Well, all the power to you. I do want to say there's a lot of people who are giving mixed reviews on the whole thing. Some people are upset about it taking over, and I'm just like, why are you mad? What is there to be mad about? No one said it was like a 10 to 10K cheat code. It's
Yeah.
called the challenge for a reason. So it's like everyone's like, oh, this isn't the smartest way. Like, let us have some fun. It's turning $10 into 10K, and you're gonna have some fun, sweat it out with your boys, and that's really all the gambling Twitter is anyway. So we'll talk about this when you complete it the next time. We'll bring you back on and we'll talk about it. But you do have some plays for us today. You already posted them on your channel. Again, guys, if you didn't see them, follow Calling Our Shots on Twitter and subscribe to him on YouTube. All the information below. Also subscribe to the Flash Picks channel as well while you're at it. Why not? Walk us through your first play. You did talk about Miles Turner and why you're fading him a little bit tonight. You want to get
Yeah.
into that a little bit?
Yes, I'm taking Miles Turner's under in points. It was 17.5 this morning. It dropped to 16.5. Some books dropped to 15.5, but boosted back to 16. I think that's a pretty decent spot. Now, I feel like every time I look at Miles Turner and you see him have a good game, it's like I talk about like a Drew Holiday roller coaster who's always up and down. Miles Turner's just like that. He's like, he has one good game, one bad game. It's just what he does. And so last night he scored 26 points on 21 attempts. I don't see him getting that. That was the most he's ever attempted on the season with 21 shots. So I don't
Yeah.
anticipate him doing that against the Magic tonight. He's split in 2 games this year versus the Magic. He scored 20 and then 10 points. But on the road, he's averaging like 14 points per game. When he sees less than 30 minutes, he's averaging 13 points per game. So I think a lot of things are going to go against him. Will not be surprised to see the Pacers get blown out tonight by the Orlando Magic, who are like 6-point favorites now, which just looks wrong on paper. So
Yeah, I would never guess that.
and yes, I wouldn't lay 6 with the Magic, but the fact that they are even that big, despite the Pacers coming off a good win against the Bulls, I think Miles Turner doesn't play a lot tonight, back to back. He's like under in 14 of 20 road games. I'll give me his under. I'd rather take the under instead of watch him get 3 fouls in the first 3 minutes. You're like, I hate my life taking his over.
I will say, one of the things I do respect you about is that you do take unders and overs. You're not a big, just crazy over guy. You do a lot of research and you do spend a lot of time not only researching your plays, you spend a lot of time recording and editing your plays. So I will say, I'll preface this again. You are you are the hardest working gambling Twitter account on the platform just because of the amount of work. Everyone does their research, but the amount of effort you put in editing and recording. Nick is in the background of this video, by the way, guys. He's mad that I said that out loud, but he there's without question, you work harder than me on the videos and editing. Everyone does their thing. So hats off to you. You have been crushing NBA too. I will say the 10K challenges, whatever. As far take that away, you're having one hell of an NBA season. One to definitely remember. Do you find it easier this season than last season with the books adjusting to some lines, or are you kind of avoiding injury bugs? What's your take this season?
I mean, I'm curious on your take for that same question for like NHL and stuff like that because I've never bet on NHL, but you can answer that in a second. I think the books are always going to get really sharp as the season goes on. Normally, I take a lot of overs beginning of the year. I feel like the lines are pretty slow to kind of get to where I think the player is. But after you get to the All-Star break, I think is when you have to take unders. The lines get too sharp. You get teams that are like, you know what? Like if Jason Tatum's the only guy out there for the Celtics, they're going to double and make someone else beat him.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where I kind of learned my lesson because it's about my third year full-time like sports betting the NBA. First year I was strictly like basically overs, and second half of the year I lost the shirt off my back. Like in the playoffs I couldn't cash anything. That was because it was strictly overs basically.
Yeah.
But last year I kind of was doing a lot more unders and a lot more, if a player has a great game, one game in the playoffs, you take the under the next game because the team's going to adjust and try to figure out ways to take them away. Someone else is probably going to feast. So
Yeah.
lines are sharp though. We're only at January 25th, but lines are super sharp. It's annoying, but that's what Vegas gets paid.
Yeah, I will say, like going unders. If I bet an under in a game, I don't watch it because I just can't. I can't sweat it out. If I have an over, I'll watch it all day long. Root for the ball to go in. Rooting for the ball to miss is a completely different. It's a different sweat than you want. So I just don't even watch the game. That's like my what do you call it? Superstition. I just can't watch it. I will bring on our friend Nick. We do have a 3-person template. I believe we do. Let me see if I can find it. If we don't, then we don't. Nick did it himself. Oh my goodness.
Boys!
Sir.
It's all fucked up. Who cares?
Just get rid of the Miles Turner under, and you should be fine.
Austin,
I'm so excited. Learn from the best.
How are you doing, Nick? We're having a blast here without you.
I'm so glad you came on.
I actually have to go.
Leave. Goodbye. You look so hurt by that. Austin, it's always a pleasure. Look, Matt is right. You are the hardest working. I'm learning Adobe Premiere Pro right now just for the memes. And I'm like absolutely lost. So I don't know how you work with all that shit and try to make templates and banners and thumbnails. And it's, oh my God.
I know it's a pain in the neck. You'll get used to it though. I can see you coming around.
He's always positive. I feel like Austin wakes up and he just like gets up and he's like, let's just start this day. And it's like the rainiest, coldest, windiest day of his life. But that's why we love you. You do have another play for us today to share with everyone coming in. Almost 200 people in here. Thank you guys all for coming in. I can't even bring it up anymore because Nick ruined the party. But talk about the play.
Well, everyone knows his name, so we don't need to put him on the screen. His name is Mr. John Morant. And we like his over in points tonight. I think he could score 30 or more tonight. Now, I look at this matchup against the Warriors. They're on the road. We know these teams got bad blood. I don't really want to overthink it. I think the big thing here is, though, Ja's under in 3 straight, and yet they're still raising his line, which is normally a pretty good indicator he's going to have a big game. And also, they're starting Draymond Green at the center position. And not that Kevon Looney's a good rim protector, but there's less size in there. They got no Steven Adams, so he's not going to clog up the paint. They'll have a lot of spacing for Morant. And I think he can drive to the rim, have a pretty big day. Should be a close game. What is over under like 245. So I really like Morant. I think he has a big night. So give me his over.
I like that. You got an over and you got an under. 2 completely different games. Guys that John Morant, if you're going to bet him, you got to bet his over. Just because if you're going to watch the game, he's just so fun to watch. One of the most athletic, one of the most entertaining NBA stars we've seen in a while. I hope he stays healthy. I just think, the athleticism is only, generational, comes very, very few people. And it's one hell of a player to watch. That's it for the 2 plays today. I will bring up my hockey play. I know Nick loves to hear me talk hockey. So I will talk about.
I don't have a play or anything, so that's fine. Don't ask me.
Yeah, you don't. Nick has to, I don't know. But I took the Oilers in our video. Again, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I posted my video about the Oilers' first period. The Blue Jackets have scored 7 goals in the first period on the road in 20 games. That is just horrible. They're tanking for Bedard, and they have no business beating this Oilers team, and especially on this road trip. So this Oilers team is red hot, has one of the best players in the game. If you want to give me an NBA comparison, they have whoever you'd say is the NBA's best player. I know it's up for debate these days, but they have the Giannis, the Luka of the NHL, and Connor McDavid, one of the best power plays to watch. So if you like hockey, if you like offense and you like hockey, the Oilers are going to be your favorite team. And they just dominate. They're just red hot right now. Power plays on fire. And the Blue Jackets, you're just they're just going to tank, and they've yet to score tons of goals in the first period. So we're going to be over in 20 minutes, and they're minus 400 on the money line. So to give you a tip on NHL with how the books are being so sharp on NBA, I think they're not that sharp on hockey because I don't think they obviously care about losing money on hockey, but when it comes to the volume and the amount of money being bet and placed on the sports books, hockey's in a much smaller tier than basketball and football. So I don't think they really care if they have a little bit of a loss on hockey if they're making money every day on basketball. Obviously, they'll adjust the lines as they go. They don't want to lose money ever. But you have minus 400 favorites to kind of win the first period, which is a third of the game, by a goal. If you don't think the minus 400 is going to be winning the first period, then you probably weren't going to bet them anyway. So that's kind of a way you can get them at almost a pick 'em. It's minus 105. Sometimes it's plus money. They've kind of taken away the plus money and brought it down to like a minus 110-ish, minus 120. But until they fix it, we're going to keep attacking it. Like even last year, MGM was a book. Sorry to pick on MGM, but they had this thing where it was like a goalies goals against. They had a whole goal lower. It didn't fix it for like 3 months. So they're not as sharp on NBA and NFL lines. Obviously, that will change the more I see it. They have ESPN deals, things like that. But hockey is the same way. You can't just bet overs and unders. You can't just bet strictly overs. You got to bet some unders and bet some other things like that. But we've been having one hell of a hockey season. Maybe one day you'll get into the hockey game, but you have a lot on your plate. I've been telling Nick to do the same for years. I'm on an island over here with just 5 other guys on Twitter. But it's fun. The water's warm. You guys should come test it out one day.
Yeah. Honestly, once football stops, then I'll probably, dive in and get my degen on.
I really wish they did. I know it's not right seasons. I wish NHL was in the summer. Doesn't make any sense, but I don't want to watch baseball all day long. So I wish they didn't have to overlap so much. But what got you into NHL so much? Have you always been intrigued by the sport?
Yeah, I only played like street hockey. I can't skate for anything. But I've just loved the sport. My dad had season tickets to the Devils back in like the early 2000s when they were like really good. So I just grew up watching the game, and then I would watch it. And the good thing about hockey is that they're always in the game. No matter what you bet on, the guy's shots are probably 2.5, so you can get it on a quick spurt, a power play or two, or the over under is like 6. So it's never like, even if it's like 1-0 going to the third, there's still a chance. Obviously not a good chance, but like, or if you're at a game and it's 2-0, 2-1, very rarely are there lots of blowouts. And I think that's one of the things that keeps me interested. Like I'm always in the game. It's kind of like soccer in that way where, people like Americans and everyone, we love scoring. We love football. We love basketball, these high totals, but sometimes you got a game where it's 100-75 and the starters come out and you leave. That really never happens. So it's from an entertainment perspective. If you understand the game, it's just great. And I think the books were a little behind in the hockey game. So, obviously been, learning the game and crushing the books a little bit. Obviously it's more fun when you win bets. So that's kind of what got me into it. I'm going to Florida in like a month. And if I have to drag you out to a Lightning game, I may have to.
Hey, I would love to go. I actually played roller hockey and ice hockey growing up, so I'm very familiar with the sport. Just never bet it. I do enjoy watching it though. So
that's awesome, guys. Am I able to say the plays I have? Or
yeah, for sure.
I thought you had to work your job.
Thanks for having me on, Austin. By the way, it's been it's always a pleasure talking to you, Matt. You're there. So I'm doing a builder and then I'm doing a player performance double that stuck out to me. Number one, let's go with the Sabonis double in the win. That's the Kings over the Raptors. It's just a better way to get Kings money line. The Raptors away have been absolutely atrocious this year. They're 6-15 straight up. Just not good. Meanwhile, the Kings are 16-10. And then Sabonis, his double line is currently minus 950. I mean, the dude's honestly a walking triple double. But this is just way for me to get a discounted rate at that money line. The Raptors are on 3 days rest. The Kings are on 2 days. I still like it overall. I just don't think the Raptors have been traveling well. They are dangerous. I really like the Raptors as a team. They're just not putting it together this year. It's just something about this year. They have all the weapons at really every position besides a true center, and they're just not putting it together. Speaking of that, I know you brought up Miles Turner. That would be pretty awesome to have him there.
That'd be a cool trade.
Yeah. So that is my first play. That is minus 118 on FanDuel currently. That's under player performance double.
I love
and
that.
Again, I'm mainly doing this. It's a discounted money line. If Sabonis doesn't get a double-double,
they ain't winning.
Oh my! Yeah, they ain't winning. That's true. They're not winning. Oh, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine. But if that, oh my God, I can't even think about it. It just stresses me out. No, and then I'm doing a little builder. It's my revenge builder. And obviously this trade happened a little while ago, but I'm doing Seth Curry 10 points and Ben Simmons 6 assists. That's minus 117 on FanDuel. I'm going to price shop it in a little bit. Seth Curry is obviously Kevin Durant's been out for a little bit now, and he's been turning it up. I'm all over the place, so let me get my stats together. In the month of January, he has only gone under 10 points one time. And that was 8, and he went 3 for 9 versus the Pelicans. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's 9 for 10 in the month of January. He's obviously filling the void as far as Durant being gone, and you're seeing an uptick in minutes. The last 30 days as well, the 76ers are giving up the 6th most points to shooting guards. So that's one thing to look at as far as that's concerned. And then we're adding, obviously, Ben Simmons, 6 assists, if I can pull that up as well. He's been a little bit more inconsistent as far as that number. Obviously, he'll have plenty of motivation. I think this is the first time Embiid's – I believe Embiid's playing today. And I think this will be the first time they face each other. But he's hit 1. So, God. I got an ad going. He's hit 8 of the last 9 overall. And he's killing it. He's getting 11 potential assists per game. And I just think it's a nice builder, especially for that game. Both guys are going to have plenty of motivation going into it. Seth Curry's got a good matchup and an uptick in minutes, and he has good consistency. It's a good way to just have a builder for that parlay, for that game, excuse me. So I'm taking that. It's at minus 116 on FanDuel. I'll probably price shop that after we get off this call, but I did that in the bathroom. My work thinks I have irritable bowel syndrome. So that's clutch, guys. If you need to study today, irritable bowel syndrome.
200 IQ. An interesting note for your Sabonis, double-double and a win. In the last 14 Kings wins, Sabonis has had a double-double.
I mean, honestly, I don't want to shit on that stat, but I feel like he has a double-double literally every night.
Yeah, he does. I was trying to track it, and I was just trying to find wins. He has had one in a while.
I wonder every loss, it's like, still like 14 in a row, double-doubles.
Yeah, it's basically, yeah. Because I actually almost considered one of my latter legs almost 10-plus rebounds, which he had in like 23 of his last 25. So, and he had like 21 his last Raptors game. So,
yeah.
So I do like that. Hopefully they can pull it out for you.
Yep.
They definitely will. Well, that's all of our plays. Austin, one last thing before you go.
Yeah.
You talked all 15 days of you trying to get 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and you got that overnight. You talked about getting TikTok followers. You got that. I don't think you thought you'd get there this fast. What are your future plans? Do you have any new goals, new things you want to focus on? What's new? What's going to be new from calling our shot in the next few weeks, few months?
That's a great question. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. First thing I need to finish this ladder challenge, hopefully get to day 10 and get that 10K. That would be legendary. Secondly, I don't really know. I'm going to start going to more sporting events. So maybe there will be a call on a shot 2 type channel coming in the near future. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. When you get to the summer, there's not a lot going on. So try to find different things to spice up the life and keep things interesting. So we'll see. I need to set up some new New Year's resolutions because we've crushed it this month, which is a good thing.
Awesome.
I won't be complaining.
I told you over the phone, if you ever need to be humbled, I'm happy to bring you down, as far as you need to make sure you just level head. I'm here for you.
I know you got me covered. So I appreciate that. You need friends like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I know you're probably working so much, you're probably taking naps midday. Who knows? I don't really know.
That's on me. No nap time.
your schedule is bonkers. So I really do appreciate the time. Again, guys, please subscribe, follow him. All of Austin's info is in the description below, and all of our info is in the description below. So subscribe to us, follow us as well. Nick, thank you for coming on when you said you couldn't. I appreciate it. And we'll do this again when you complete the 10K challenge. So up to you, and best of luck.
All right. Hey, see you guys in 9 days.
Take care, guys.
You guys.
Yeah.